right? As a people pleaser, the question is often, why do I have this cycle of overgiving and then having an emotional outburst, right? And then going right back to overgiving. And the typical pattern is, you've been holding it together, right? For weeks, maybe months, maybe years. Saying yes when you want to say no, taking on just one more task, making everything easier for everybody else except yourself until one day you just can't anymore, right? You snap, you cry, you yell, you shut down, you disappear. And for that moment at least, it feels like a release. It feels like, oh, I'm finally setting a boundary. But then not long after that, you're right back to square one doing it all over again. And if you've ever wondered why this happens, it's not because you're crazy, it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because your system is actually running on a cycle, right? Where the blow up is part of the cycle and no one ever showed you how to step off it. Okay. So here's what the cycle looks like for most people pleasers, right? Step one, you overgive. You say yes when you mean no. You take on more than you can handle. Stage two, you start to feel resentment. You start to feel taken for granted, unappreciated, overwhelmed. And then stage three, of course, the pressure builds until you blow, right? Maybe it's a meltdown. Maybe it's a sarcastic comment. Maybe it's quiet, but you just go totally numb. Okay. And then stage four, the shame hits. You feel guilty. You feel self-conscious, embarrassed. You tell yourself, why do I always do this? What's wrong with me? And then stage five, you go all the way back to pleasing. And you say, okay, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. Everyone relies on me, so how can I not? But next time, I'll just do better. I won't explode next time. I'll just handle it. And so it begins again because you're human and you're overgiving and overdoing it, and it's simply not sustainable. So the deeper truth about the explosion and the emotional outburst, right, is that it's not a failure. It's not a personality flaw. It's the emergency brake and pressure release that your nervous system pulls when it has been ignored for too long. You're not weak for losing it. You're human because no one can overgive forever. So instead of judging your blowups, maybe we can start listening to what these blowups have been trying to say to you because they contain a message. Okay. And so something you can try, again, no pressure, only if you want, is the next time you feel yourself in the middle of this cycle. Okay. And the next time you feel yourself slipping into, overgiving and sort of letting a boundary down. Okay. Ask yourself this. What would I need to believe in order to say no to this request right now and still feel safe? Okay. Not how do I say no. It's like, obviously, you know how to use language. You know how to say no verbally, right? But that's not the issue. It's what would I need to believe to say no and still feel emotionally safe? Okay. Asked another way, what is the fear I have that is telling me that I can't say no? And that is where the real work begins. Not at the outburst level, right? Because the outburst is just a natural reaction. But at the belief underneath, the fear that put me in the overgiving position to even get to the outburst in the first place. Okay. So if what I'm talking about here is helping you and striking a chord in you, this is what we do in the full people-pleasing reset program. And the point of the whole program is that it is designed to help you break out of this cycle for good. Not by teaching you how to just say no and have better boundaries, right? But by healing the underlying part of you that thinks and truly believes that people-pleasing and overgiving is the only way to stay emotionally safe, is the only way to avoid losing love and being abandoned. Okay? Because it's not actually true. But the part of you that believes it's true is very powerful, and it is running the show. Okay. So if it's something you'd like to explore, it's here, it's available to you. But even if not, that's totally okay. I just want you to hear in this time that your peace absolutely matters, and the cycle is breakable. Let's keep building toward it.